today. And I'm going to hang up here and listen, but just about Gabe Davis real quick. I think Bills fans should be ecstatic. I think that we should have hoped that he came to us today instead of Pittsburgh. I would take 8 games of a healthy Gabe Davis over some of these unknowns we have in the mix for receiver right now. We really haven't had explosive plays down the field since he left, other than, like when Shakir can get loose. And I don't know. What do you guys think, man? I think I would take like a half a season from Gabe over some of these other guys who, if they play 16 or 17 games, are just kind of average contributors. I'll hang up, guys. Thanks. Go Bills.
Okay. The explosive plays went away while Davis was still here. I think it started, and it might be more of a league-wide thing, but there's no question that the Bills last year did not have a downfield passing game, and Davis was a downfield threat. So I think that's fair. Whether I'm trying to get you back within the coloring in the lines that meet my approval, whatever, I think that stands. I don't know about ecstatic. This is a player that's now a couple of years older than he was when he left, that has had injury problems, and I don't know. I mean, Curtis Samuel, healthy, should have a higher ceiling and be a big play threat for this team. Whether it's down the field or not is another question. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm going to struggle with ecstatic. I think Gabe Davis probably gets a harder time than he deserves from the fans. And I was never his biggest fan, so I don't know. I'm way short of ecstatic. I'm open to it, I guess. But to me, it's a bad sign for how it's going at receiver. And so, you want to revisit the draft conversation and pouring resources into it if on August 19th you're you're bringing in someone who you didn't want to pay 2 years ago and has had injury problems really since. I don't know. That doesn't make me feel anything close to ecstatic. It makes me feel like maybe there's more of a crisis going on at receiver than we ever thought. So, I don't know. It doesn't excite me, but I'm not going to be mad if he ends up back here at some point. I don't know if that's imminent or not. I forgot what the rest was now.
Well, I want to say something about the caller's comments about McDermott, but first, it's always both things. This happened a lot last year with Claypool and all those guys. It was, you could look at it as a negative, and it seemed fair to. Man, they really don't love what they've got. But also as a positive, that they're not going to fake it. Like they're not going to sit there, standing pat and tell you that they're all set. I mean, the Bills increasingly seem more forthcoming. Bean always wants to tell you the real score, and McDermott is doing plenty of that these days. So, he literally today brought that into question, what the Bills' depth at receiver is and how they're just they're not fully made there. So I want to give them credit for not pretending that they're in better shape than they are. But, yeah, I mean, they're grasping a little bit, and they were last year too. And how did it turn out? Samuel was not much of a contributor. Hollins probably gave you the best year you could have hoped for from him. I mean, he seemed like a special teamer at signing until they started to talk about his kind of taking Davis's spot. It was only last year when Davis left.
Yep.
And Coleman was okay. They went and got Amari Cooper, also seemingly showing that they were not all set at the position. And now it's Palmer and Elijah Moore. That hasn't been anything yet.
No. Yeah, I mean, is there? I really see. I shouldn't say I don't want to start something by saying this because I don't know. I want to ask whether or not how McDermott sounds about Bishop and safety in general. And about receiver, we don't really know who 4, 5, and 6 are, I think is what he said.
Uh-oh.
We know who 1, 2, and 3 are. I don't know. Is he putting stuff in a basket to leave at the GM's door here at all? I mean, it's stark. Like, he could be, the caller's asking, the other part of the call was, what is he doing with Bishop? Is it motivation? And that's sales guess too. And like, yeah, but there's frustration in there, I think. And I don't know. It could be directed solely at the players or just the situation in general. I got this guy that's really talented. I'm talking about Bishop here, and I can't get him off yet. I can't find the buttons to press because they're wrapped up in gauze. He's a frustrated sounding guy right now, and I don't know. I wonder about that.
I hear you working. You want to use Coleman and Kincaid after the season too?
Sure.
Right?
Sure. So, like,
whatever.
I'm just asking if anybody is contemplating whether that's a part of this at all.
It'd be really hard to say yes.
Because the heat is all on him. Mostly, right? Like, their failures in the playoffs, Bean does not get the blame for that. I mean, there's the guy earlier, the second round picks, and missing, and trading that off for hits with Saturday picks. But McDermott bears the brunt of the failures, and if the guys that are being chosen here to help him finish this job aren't available to him, and he doesn't know who his second 3 wide receivers are 3 weeks before they play a game, I don't know. That's stark.
I think Bean might get more of the blame than you're saying, because the whole wide receiver thing isn't McDermott. You don't hear people so much complain about that they didn't push the ball more, or even in that game. It gets said. Then you hear about, like, well, what's available? It is more the roster, I think. It's the players they've chosen. Bean was in, when he got hot, he talked about how they have made an effort. It's only part of the criticism is the perceived lack of effort. It's also like the literal choices you're making. Coleman versus Worthy, et cetera. Like Kincaid versus other possibilities then. So I think it's both. You're not even accusing him. You're sort of just speculating whether McDermott is frustrated with his roster.
Yeah.
And maybe. I mean, it's been so many years. There'd be times when you would. There'd be times when you disagree on draft picks and other moves. That would just be normal, I think. And I think too much of what he's talking about is injury related, that it'd be hard to pin that on anybody. Mm-hmm. You could pin that on the players. I wonder if he sort of, the way he's wired takes him back to days, and this isn't that long ago, where guys would play through what they're just categorically not playing through anymore in this climate. Preseason, training camp, you turn an ankle, here comes the cart, goodbye. Mm-hmm. And that's not something you could either blame on anybody
the
else,
GM,
except except maybe the players. He might have a little bit of an edge to him when it comes to choices that maybe players have made here and there. But again, this is all. Right.
But assuming guessing. He's still choosing, assuming he's choosing to tell us these things, right? Like, it's not just coming out from frustration or anger. Like, what's his motivation? Is he trying to motivate Cole Bishop by telling the media that he needs him? I mean, he could tell Cole Bishop that in the locker room. He does not need to make the spectacle is too strong, but he doesn't need to make the point he made today the way he made it if what he's after is trying to light a fire under Cole Bishop to get him on the field.
He doesn't. I don't want at all to sound critical of McDermott for saying it, though.
I don't either. I want to find what the motivation is exactly.
And I think it could just be, like I said earlier, where he's just more relaxed and willing to tell you what's really going on, which is what I'm here for. Because I'll criticize when you don't do that. It's obvious. And we'll talk about how great New Orleans is going into week 4. Although maybe they will be great. You've said it. Don't you have an overbet on the Saints?
My God, why do you plant lies?
Like this was a time to do it. Oh, why do I plant lies? What is the over-under on the Saints even? 2. Maybe. With us. Hi, Nick. You're not wrong. Nick.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Good, man. Thanks.
I just wanted to talk about Gabe Davis. I disagree with the last caller's opinion that fans should be ecstatic. I know fans have been disappointed with the way the wide receiver room has looked since Diggs and Davis left. But for us now, we have money tied up with Curtis Samuel, Josh Palmer, Elijah Moore, all three of who are pretty unproven in Buffalo, I'd say. And Jacksonville, they like you guys mentioned, they waived him. But they are taking on an $11 million dead cap to make sure Gabe Davis doesn't play on their roster, and they were 4-13 last year. I'll hang up and listen to what you guys have to say, but that's just my opinion on it.
Okay. I don't. It's fair, I guess, but I don't want to what I think would be overreacting to that Jacksonville point. They cleaned house.
New coach.
They did the same thing with Christian Kirk. I don't know if they owed him money, but they flushed guys that didn't have to get flushed. And so that could be at least some part that, and probably is, and he wasn't healthy either. The fan, you don't sound like it exactly, Nick, but the fan voice on Gabe Davis to me is very weird. I don't know what the guy did to rub people the wrong way. I'm very much very much want to sound the way Sal did talking about Davis. Like, how did this guy fail you? And his leaving in free agency really was not a story. Like that was going to happen the whole time. And he wasn't worth big money. This isn't to say that he was. It's just like there's vitriol when it comes to Davis. And I don't get it. 9th in Bills history in touchdown catches. I mean, he was a steal. And big plays. And I know they lose 13 seconds, but you're talking about one of the 5 to 10 greatest receiving performances in the history of the NFL playoffs, statistically at least. I mean, it came late, but that's better, isn't it? So, yeah. I don't know. There's some weird thing with him. The last season here was difficult. And it ended, and there was a lot of talk about his ankle, that he hurt his ankle early in the season, which I believe, and he missed a little bit of time with it, and then played through it. So I don't want to sound like I think everybody is one way when it comes to him, but I don't know. I feel a little bit grateful for him. Do I need him back? No, I don't need him back.
The ankle injury, I think, was the year before.
Okay, right.
I think it was year 3, right?
I think that's right.
Anyway.
And then he played, well, I don't know. Because you're right, because we were talking about him off of a season coming back and whether that was the reason why he didn't do more the year before.
Whether he would come through or not. Yeah, he hurt the ankle coming off of the 13 seconds game.
And he did play 17 games his last year here.
Yeah. The reason I really would push back on ecstatic is because of the overall. Like, where am I with this receiver room that is all set, going back to the spring, if I'm calling Gabe Davis on August 19th?
Yeah, that's a different point, but that
has nothing to do with Gabe Davis. If I'm calling Amari Cooper today, I would say the same thing. Like, where's the GM to call our morning show and yell at them again? Like, I'm in such great shape at receiver that I call Gabe Davis 3 weeks before I have a game? Okay. I mean, again, that is not a criticism of Gabe Davis. It's really the overall. Like, what am I doing here?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. I just wanted to give a call. Gabe Davis, I wouldn't bring him back if that meant losing somebody like a Terrell Shavers. I just think Shavers' ceiling is a little higher than what Gabe was.
Shavers for me is still, thanks, Daryl. He's maybe the guy this year for this. Like in the preseason, annually, there's somebody that the Bills are not doing much in these 2 games, but the guy definitely has some buzz. My hang-up is he has been here for 2 years, and players can improve, and situations can change, and that's the case here with the Bills. But I just wonder if there really is an upside worth chasing with Shavers, what have they been waiting for? Like, why wouldn't it have already shown up last year? I mean, not everybody shared the same opinion, but we've been questioning their quality at wide receiver for a long time. And here's a guy that was on the roster and they couldn't, really find a spot for him. Maybe that's my hesitation on him. And if he does make the team, it's to do what? Is he in the press box?
He's I think he's getting reps as punt gunner. Like, they're trying to see if he can play that role. That's probably his pathway. I don't think plainly as a receiver he's going to make it. So he's got to show that he can do a little bit of something else. And so that in and of itself tells you, I think, what they might think of him as a receiver, period. Because if he were a certain level of good at that, better than he is, maybe more accomplished than he is, then he wouldn't need the special teams piece to make it. So they're going to need someone to do that job from the receiving corps, and he might be the best bet at this point.
Okay.
Maybe Chenault too. I mean, if Chenault, he's getting run, he's getting opportunities to see if he can return punts, which is interesting to me. Because I think Codrington showed you on Sunday, like, he should not be covering he certainly shouldn't be covering DJ Moore or Roma Dunze, which happened on Sunday, which, you wonder why the game got so crooked so fast. Well, I mean, there you go. But that's not a guy you should be counting on to play defense for you. You're in real trouble if you are.
Well, I'm over here talking about Davis, 9th all-time in touchdown catches for the Bills, one of the higher yards per catch players they've had. Shavers is number 1 in Bills history. Right. Number 1. Yards per reception.
63?
69.
69.
69.
I'm stealing 6 yards from the guy. They are
one play.
They are this is funny. Like, Shavers, he has been here for a couple of years, like you say, so we should know that he's not a young guy. But because he's never really been on the team, he feels like a young guy. And Davis, of course, was here for 4 years and then went to Jacksonville. They're the same age.
Okay. 26?
Yeah.
First. Jim Kelly is 17th in that stat. Bills history.
Yards per reception?
Correct. 20. He averaged 20 yards. Think about that. He averaged 20 yards a catch